Hello everyone, I am Dr. Anupama Prakash Kaur from KNBC Arts, Commerce and Vinayak Patil Science College, Vidyanagar, Bhosare, Kurudwadi, Maharashtra. Welcome to the topic of the main speech organs. Today we are going to discuss about the speech organs, which are very important for understanding the speech mechanism. So this topic is prescribed for BA first year students of optional English. So it will be beneficial for all of you to go through the speech organs. So let us study here today what are the speech organs, what are their positions or locations in our mouth cavity, which are those organs which plays a dominant role in speech mechanism and how they functions. So all these topics which are covered here in today's lecture. So I hope that this will help you to understand the process of speech mechanism. We know that everyone, every person, every individual has to communicate, and for the communication process or for understanding the process of communication, we need to know how we communicate, how we speak. So this is the basic part to understand our speech mechanism. So let us study today what are the speech organs and what are their locations and functions in our mouth. So the speech organs which we must know or which are familiar to you, such as lips. All of you are familiar with lips. Okay. You are also familiar with teeth. You know that what is the role of teeth. If we do not have the teeth, what will happen? We can understand it. Then the next part is alveolar ridge, which is rather unfamiliar to you. We will study. Then you are familiar with tongue, is it? All of you know that tongue is the very important organ in our mouth. Without this, we can't utter a single sound. Then the next part is larynx. What is larynx? Where it is located? And what is the function of it? We will discuss. It is quite new to you. You might not be familiar with it. Then next to that, vocal cords. You might have heard about it, that there are vocal cords in our mouth cavity, with the help of which we can hear the sound. We will discuss it in detail. Then the next is epiglottis. It is also unfamiliar to you. We will see in detail about epiglottis. Then the next is pharynx. It is also new. You might not be familiar with it. Then next to it is soft palate. Then uvula, and the last is hard palate. So overall there are 11 speech organs which plays a dominant role in communication. Now let us see one by one. First of all, we will see the lips. Now, as we know that there are two lips. So some sounds are called as bilabial sounds because they are get articulated at the lips. These lips plays a dominant role in creating or in uttering some sounds. We can say here there are two lips. One is upper lip and the second is lower lip. upper, you can easily understand, and lower lip. Now we can say that where is the location of the lips? What is the shape of lip? You can see in the diagram which is shown with the circle that there are two lips. In the purple circle, it is shown that there is upper lip which is at the upper teeth and lower lip at the lower teeth. So you can say these are two lips where some sounds are get articulated. In the next part, we will see which are the sounds which can be articulated at the lips. Then the next speech organ is teeth. Now we know that what kind of role teeth perform. Again, like lips, teeth are also upper teeth and lower teeth. These also play a dominant role in uttering some sounds. Without teeth, we cannot utter those sounds. So we can say that these organs are very, very important for uttering some sounds, on the basis of which they are termed as dental sounds. Which are those dental sounds? Which are the bilabial sounds? We will discuss it in the next part of the syllabus. But here, remember that it plays a dominant role in creation of some sounds, that is dental sounds. Now, the third organ is alveolar ridge. Now, you can see here how that alveolar ridge is shown. Now this alveolar ridge is what? We know that our tongue is located under the roof of our cavity, and that roof is nothing but the part which can be divided into four categories or four parts, such as alveolar ridge, the first part. It can be shown in blue circle. In the diagram you can see which is the alveolar ridge, where it is located and what is the role of that alveolar ridge we can see. Now first we will see where it is located. Now the arrow towards the blue circle, it will show you clearly that this alveolar ridge is located exactly behind the upper teeth. So you can say that the part which is located behind the upper teeth is alveolar ridge. If we touch that part with our forefinger, you can realize that it is a bony skeleton part which is very hard, and so it can be termed as alveolar ridge. Okay. Then next to that part there is hard palate. In the purple circle it is shown next to alveolar ridge, and this hard palate is a fleshy part in comparison to the first part, that is alveolar ridge. Some muscle is there, because of which you feel some sort of softness, and next to that there is a soft palate. The arrow is shown where it is located. So this hard palate and soft palate, they are situated or located in a linear way. In the first part, alveolar ridge, next to that, in the second part, hard palate, and next to that, In the third part, soft palate. And at the end of the soft palate, you will find uvula. So this hard palate and soft palate, these are very important for creation of some kind of sounds, where the soft palate plays a dominant role in creating the vocal sounds and nasal sounds. So you must have to be familiar with this organ. This is the most important organ for creating the vocal sounds and nasal sounds. This part is very fleshy. There is no any bone, because of which it can move. It can be stretched and it can be relaxed. So because of that movement, as it is too much fleshy, we can make a movement of it, and because of which the cavity, the nasal cavity, it can be closed, it can be open. When the mouth cavity is open, we can utter an oral sound, that is a vocal sound. And when that cavity is closed by a soft palate, we utter a nasal sound. The sound which is created through the nasal cavity is a nasal sound, and the sound which is created through the oral cavity is a oral sound. So soft palate is very important for understanding the oral sounds and nasal sounds. It plays a dominant role here. So for that, you must have to remember this. Because of that fleshy part, it can be stretched, and because of the stretching, the cavity get closed. So that is about the part of the roof above our tongue, that is alveolar ridge, hard palate, soft palate, and uvula. Uvula is a short organ. When we cough, at that time, that fleshy part, it comes out. If we open widely your mouth and look into the mirror, you can see that fleshy part which is called as uvula. It doesn't take part in actual pronunciation, but that part is important for coughing. Then the next part is larynx. Now this larynx is a cavity, but this cavity is important. You can see in the red circle that there is the larynx at the bottom side. Now this larynx, it plays a dominant role in sort of pronunciation, pronunciation of some sounds. So this cavity makes you to escape the air from this place to another place. So this is one of the important factor. Then we have vocal cords. Now vocal cords, in the red circle you can see the vocal cords are there. Now these vocal cords are very important for the sounds which are voiced and voiceless. We can hear the sound, sometimes we cannot hear the sound. So these are the vocal cords with the help of which we can differentiate between the voiced and voiceless sounds. These vocal cords are located on the wide opening above the trachea, or we can call it as a windpipe. Windpipe you can understand, through which we take the air in and throw the air out. And below that windpipe there are vocal cords which are flexibly attached to the windpipe. and when the air passes through that windpipe, they vibrate. When they vibrate, the sound is heard, and that sound is voiced sound. And when we do not hear the vibration of the vocal cords, the sound is voiceless sound. The vocal cords plays a dominant role in creating the voiced sound and a voiceless sound. There are some sounds which are voiced, there are some sounds which are voiceless sounds. Now, the next is epiglottis. Epiglottis, where you can say that it is a opening towards glottis. Glottis is a wide opening. For example, there are some sounds in English with the help of which you can say that the air it escapes through that wide opening and then the sound is produced. That is glottis. When we cough, at that time the air escapes, bursts out through that wide opening, and that is glottis. So epiglottis and glottis, these are the two speech organs which plays a dominant role in coughing and creating some sounds like h, which is created through glottis, glottal sounds. Then the next is pharynx. Pharynx is again a cavity like larynx through which the air escapes and we hear the sounds. You can see here below uvula and above the epiglottis there is a pharynx. There it is a space which is a cavity, so it is pharynx. Then soft palate we have discussed, uvula we have discussed, and hard palate we have seen. So you can say here that all of these sound speech organs, these are very very important for understanding the process of speech mechanism. And the last organ, that is the very important organ, is the tongue, where you can say that this tongue it is divided into 4 parts. Our tongue it is divided into 4 parts. As we know that tongue is the only one organ which can move from one place to another place. Because of the movement we can hear or utter the sound. So this movable organ it is divided into 4 parts such as tip, blade, front and back. In green circle it is shown that how the tongue is divided into 4 parts. The first part it is the tip of the tongue. The next to that part is the blade of the tongue. The next to that, or we can say the back part of the tongue, is the front, and at the back side of the tongue it is back. So you can say that the tongue is divided into these 4 parts, and these 4 parts plays a dominant role in creating some sounds. The sounds which are what we can say, the consonants and vowels which are produced at these parts of the tongue. Which part of the tongue is utilized in the production of the vowel sound, that are termed on the basis of that. And so these 4 parts of the tongue are very very important. When the tip of the tongue it raises towards the alveolar ridge, then we can utter a sound. When the blade of the tongue it raises towards our palate or the roof of the cavity, again we utter a different sound. And when we raise our front part of the tongue towards the roof of the cavity, again we utter a different sound. And at the back of the tongue we utter back vowels like oo, o. These are back vowels which are uttered at the back part of the tongue. So you can say here that these 4 parts of the tongue are very important for understanding the speech organs which plays a dominant role in speech mechanism. And the last part of the topic is there are two again organs such as nasal cavity and oral cavity. Nasal cavity, which is the part which is shown in a white part where you can see there is a cavity above the nose, or we can say the nostrils, and this part, when it is open, when the soft palate is lower down, the nasal cavity is open, and when the soft palate it is raised, the nasal cavity is shut down, it is closed, and then the air it passes through the oral cavity. From trachea or windpipe it passes through the oral cavity, and through oral cavity it passes through our mouth, and then we hear the oral sound when the soft palate is raised. At that time the nasal cavity is completely closed, and when it is lowered down, the oral cavity is completely closed, and then the air escapes through from trachea to the nasal cavity, and through the nostrils the air escapes, and then we hear the nasal sounds such as mo, no, these are the nasal sounds, the help of which you can easily differentiate between oral sounds and nasal sounds. So I think it is rather clear for you to understand the speech organs. Okay, is it clear? All these speech organs are very important for understanding the process of speech mechanism. So every part of the organ, every part of the speech organ is important. Though it is short, though it is small, it plays a dominant role. So we cannot neglect it. So for better understanding of speech mechanism, we must know what are the locations of these speech organs in our mouth cavity, what are their functions, and how they perform their roles in speech mechanism. So with this we will stop here, and I think it is rather clear to you, it will be beneficial to you. Thank you very much.